From bank statement to Mone Maker and Boss to CEO, Mercedes Moné is at the very top of the organizational chart of pro wrestling, but it took a lot of work for her to climb that corporate ladder. Mercedes Varnado was born on January 26, 1992 in Fairfield, California, to parents Judith and Rio. Judith is of German descent, and Rio Varnado was black. The Varnado extended family is a famous one. It's become well known to wrestling fans that Mercedes' first cousin is none other than hip-hop legend and WWE Hall of Famer Snoop Dogg, whose father Vernell was Rio's brother. Mercedes didn't actually know that she had such a famous cousin until she was 9, when her mother brought her to one of his concerts. She may have been born in California, but Mercedes and her family ended up traveling around the United States so that Joshua, her autistic brother, could learn at the best possible schools and get care at top hospitals. Before eventually settling in Boston, the Varnado family spent some time in Minnesota. During that stint, they attended the November 14, 2005 episode of Raw at the Target Center in Minneapolis. The show was a tribute to Eddie Guerrero, who died the day before. Guerrero is one of Mercedes' favorite wrestlers, and it's one of the main reasons she became a wrestler. Sadly, Mercedes didn't even know Guerrero had passed away until she got to the arena.
Always Eddie Guerrero, so always watch Eddie versus Ray, and it's magic, and then I'm like, I want to do that.
Mercedes' journey to the ring officially started in 2008 when she was 16. She started her training with chaotic wrestling in Woburn, Massachusetts, and has admitted that the training was extremely harsh. One of her trainers was a man by the name of Todd Smith, who would eventually become Ivar of the War Raiders in WWE. After she celebrated her 18th birthday in 2010, Mercedes began to gear up for her debut match. It happened on August 8th when she was booked for a New England Championship Wrestling event in Quincy, Massachusetts, where she wrestled under the name Mercedes KV. From there, Mercedes was off to the races. She quickly became a mainstay of the Massachusetts indie scene, with Chaotic Wrestling as her home promotion. She captured both the IWE and Chaotic Wrestling Women's Championships, and crossed paths with veterans and future stars, including TNA stars Roxy Lavo and Alicia Edwards. At the start of 2012, Mercedes was a double champion, which captured the attention of many fans around the Massachusetts area and online. She also managed to turn the heads at a WWE tryout camp that June, which changed everything. Mercedes officially signed a WWE developmental deal in August 2012. At just 20 years old, the timing couldn't have been better for her. She was signed less than 2 months after WWE revamped its developmental program. Florida Championship Wrestling was replaced with a revamped streaming version of NXT. Mercedes was still the Chaotic Wrestling Women's Champion during the first few months of her WWE run. She'd appear on NXT house shows around Florida, facing off against opponents including Paige, Charlotte Flair, and Emma in tag team matches and battle royals. As so often happens in NXT, her name was changed from Mercedes KV to Sasha Banks. The newly christened Banks debuted on TV on the December 12, 2012 episode of NXT. She faced off against Paige, who by this point had already established herself as a fan favorite. Sasha took the L on that one, but it was clear that WWE saw something in her. She was immediately given a storyline with Summer Rae, boosting her confidence and fleshing out her character. It was the storyline with Rae that led to her crossing paths with someone she would become forever linked with, Bayley. In September 2013, Sasha and Rae attacked Bayley after defeating her in a match. They then took the microphone, declaring themselves as the BFFs, which stood for Beautiful Fierce Females. The BFFs didn't last very long as a stable. Summer Rae was called up to the main roster to dance with Fandango, so Charlotte Flair joined in early 2014. Charlotte eventually turned on Sasha to side with Bayley and Becky Lynch instead. That left Sasha flying solo. What did stick around was the character Sasha developed while in the BFFs, the Boss, a more confident, assured, and often meaner version of herself. By the end of 2014, all 4 horsewomen, Sasha, Bayley, Becky, and Charlotte, were fighting over the NXT Women's Championship. Backstabbing, betrayal, and interfering in everyone's business led to a series of matches between the 4 that would culminate in the first, and to this day only, fatal 4-way match between them at NXT TakeOver Rival in February 2015. Sasha would emerge victorious, becoming only the 3rd woman in history to be the NXT Women's Champion. Her reign would turn her from the boss into a legit boss, as she ruled the NXT Women's division with an iron fist. Successful defense offenses against Charlotte, Lynch, and Alexa Bliss helped solidify Sasha's place at the top of NXT. However, there was one horsewoman she hadn't defeated since becoming champion, Bayley. After months of building crowd support, Sasha wormed her way out of taking her challenge. Bayley got her shot at Sasha's title at the biggest NXT yet, TakeOver Brooklyn. In August 2015, Bayley dethroned Banks to become the new champion in a match many consider to be one of the greatest women's wrestling matches of all time.
To have this huge hype after NXT Brooklyn and people are like, Sasha Banks, you have to watch Sasha Banks. I feel like I have to live up to this.
A big shift was happening in WWE in the mid-2010s. Both performers and fans were getting fed up with the women on the roster only getting 3-minute matches, and the company valuing models and reality TV stars over more accomplished wrestlers. Some members of the main roster, namely AJ Lee and Paige, were already advocating to give divas a chance when Sasha, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte were brought up to Raw in July 2015, a month before Sasha and Bayley's landmark match in Brooklyn. By WrestleMania 32 the following year, the three former NXT stars were among the most popular on the entire roster and were given a huge opportunity in a three-way match on WWE's biggest stage. Sasha didn't get the win, but she got to walk to the ring with her cousin Snoop Dogg performing her entrance music. The prize was the new and improved WWE Women's Championship, which had been rebranded from the Divas Championship. WWE also dropped the word diva from its lexicon entirely, calling all the performers superstars instead. Sasha was drafted to Raw in the 2016 WWE Draft and immediately began a lengthy feud with Charlotte over the Raw Women's Championship. The two had the first ever women's Hell in a Cell match, which was also the first ever women's match to headline a WWE pay-per-view. By the summer of 2017, Sasha was a legit megastar, one of the most popular wrestlers in WWE, and had won the Raw Women's Championship 4 times. Bayley was the one member of the 4 horsewomen who got left behind in NXT for a while, but she finally made the leap to the main roster in July 2016. She joined Sasha as her tag team partner at Battleground in a winning effort against Charlotte and Dana Brooke. The bitter NXT rivalry between Sasha and Bayley led to a mutual respect, and they reformed their tag team in 2018, eventually naming themselves the Boss and Hug Connection. Their efforts played a big role in WWE introducing the Women's Tag Team Championship in early 2019. So naturally, Banks and Bayley walked away as the inaugural champions by winning a tag team elimination chamber match. Their first reign as champions would be short-lived though. They were dethroned by the Iconics at WrestleMania 35. The real-life Mercedes Varnado was apparently not happy with that booking decision, and she was reportedly ready to quit the company after allegedly being promised a long reign with the titles. After a short hiatus, she returned, joining back up with the new Attitude Bayley as a heel tag team. Sasha also feuded with Becky Lynch over the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, failing in the effort to become a WWE Women's Grand Slam champion. So the Boss and Hug Connection became even more focused on gold during the COVID-19 pandemic. They recaptured the titles while simultaneously each holding singles championships. Sasha had won her 5th WWE Raw Women's Championship, while Bayley held the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship too. But it wasn't long before the Boss and Hug Connection exploded. Sasha and Bayley's alliance came to an end in 2020 when Bayley turned on Sasha, but the Boss got the last laugh, finally hitting the Grand Slam and becoming the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion at that year's Hell in a Cell. Sasha held the title until WrestleMania 37, where she faced Bianca Belair in the first ever Mania main event to consist of 2 black women. The moment moved Sasha to tears when the bell rang. Belair became the new champion, but that match still holds a special place in Mercedes' heart. By the start of 2022, Sasha had been shifted back to the tag team scene, this time with Naomi as her partner. The duo won the gold at WrestleMania 38, but there was little to no direction for them as champions afterward. They were even slated to challenge for singles titles over the summer rather than defending their championships as a team. These creative frustrations would prove too much for both Sasha and Naomi. On May 16, 2022, they walked out of WWE. According to reports, they walked into the office of the then head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis, placed their belts on his desk and walked out of the building.
Something didn't feel right that day.
how we were talked to didn't settle in my heart.
The move came as a huge shock to fans and WWE officials. Both women were suspended immediately. Throughout the rest of the year, there were talks on bringing them back to the company, but nothing materialized. As 2022 came to an end, Mercedes was a free agent. The legit boss Sasha Banks was no more. Enter the CEO, Mercedes Mone. Despite many people presuming that she would immediately jump to All Elite Wrestling, Mercedes instead made her debut for New Japan Pro Wrestling on January 4th, 2023 at Wrestle Kingdom 17 in the Tokyo Dome. She attacked then IWGP Women's Champion, Kairi. Confirmation soon came that Mercedes had signed a one-year deal with New Japan, which would also allow her to work for their all-women's sister promotion, Stardom. Mone's first non-WWE match since 2012 came at New Japan's Battle in the Valley pay-per-view. She defeated Kairi to become the new IWGP Women's Champion. The title had only been active for 3 months when Mercedes won it, but she had grown up idolizing the women of All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, so to hold a title for a Japanese promotion was a dream come true. Her reign as champion led to her wrestling at several of the most famous arenas in Japan. She finally lost the title to Mayu Iwatani at the 2023 All-Star Grand Queendom event that April. The following month, Mercedes competed in a tournament to determine the first ever New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Many saw the title as designed specifically for her. However, disaster struck in the tournament final against Willow Nightingale. The CEO broke her ankle to such an extent that one doctor told her she might never wrestle again. Nightingale thus picked up the win, becoming the inaugural champion in the process. Mercedes sat out injured for the rest of 2023. Mercedes appeared in the crowd at AEW's All In pay-per-view in London in August 2023, leading many fans to suspect she was on her way stateside to join the promotion, and that's exactly what happened. She debuted in AEW in March 2024 at the Big Business edition of Dynamite in her hometown of Boston. Some fans questioned whether she was cleared to wrestle just yet though, and indeed, her first match back didn't happen until 2 months later.
I read that you were the highest paid woman in pro wrestling, correct?
I hope so.
Okay.
I would like to think so.
That match was against none other than Willow Nightingale, who was a TBS champion. Mercedes dethroned Willow at the Double or Nothing pay-per-view, and since that night, she hasn't looked back. A month later, she finally got her hands on the New Japan Strong Women's Championship by defeating Stephanie Vecher at Forbidden Door. In August, Mercedes successfully defended her TBS title against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, at All In, delivering on the promise of her initial cameo the year before. Mercedes went a full 16 months undefeated in AEW, though she did lose the New Japan Strong title at New Japan's Resurgence in May 2025. She finally notched an AEW loss in July at All In 2025 in Arlington, Texas, while challenging Toni Storm for her AEW Women's World Championship. But her belt collecting continues.